I'm always thinking about something. Did you know that if you are God's child, your brother is Jesus? You got some powerhouses behind you. I got powerhouses behind you. Those two are powerhouses. Okay? His mother and grandmother were powerhouses. They were some praying mamas. So we're related. Okay? We're all, the family of man is related, whether they want to be or not. And we need to quit. Don't even worry about it. Okay? They say something, just look and go, that's nice. And just continue on if you're having those type of problems. Mine, I just remove it out like, okay, you need to move over there. Okay, you'll get it one day when you get to heaven because he's going to tell you about yourself. But I don't worry about stuff like that. You just kind of move through the forest. They've been after people the whole time. Different people say things and you just kind of roll with it. Roll with it, baby. Remember that? So just roll with it. But on top of that, I also want to say my condolences to Gigi's on a budget. Her dad passed away, and she's a wonderful person. Her and Big Dog, they just got back not too long ago from Aruba, and so the mom was a caregiver, and they'd had to put him in a nursing home. But I am giving you my condolences. My prayers are always with you, even when I watched you before anything happened. I prayed for you going to Aruba, coming back, and everything. But my condolences are with you. If you need anything, let me know. I will be there if you really want me physically, if you want something, or just somebody to talk to or whatever. Okay, I am here. I'm raising my hand. But thank you for all you do, Gigi, because you always put a smile on my face on Sunday mornings. Okay, Sunday morning she shows up. So thank you for all you do. Also, today I had gotten... Desiree, Desiree Wealth. It reminds me when I first saw it, I desire wealth. And so she really has a good handle because your mind goes there. I desire wealth. Okay, you ask God for things and you say, what do you want? I desire wealth. Now, you sometimes got to be specific, The wealth he may give you may not be the type of wealth that you want. So, you make sure when you ask him for something, and he made the universe, or you say universe, he made all that. So as you're talking, make sure you're specific, okay? You can't just go, I want money. Okay, there's $1, on we go. Be specific. I can't say it again. But we've always had trouble with that word around here. I just half time I don't say it. But be intentional. Say what you want. How's that? Be intentional. Always say what you want, which most people don't do in life. You're not used to that. You're used to kind of playing around with, well, I might get $2. I might get $5, and all that. We do that, okay? Because we're used to people turning us down. And we don't want people bugging us like that, so you kind of go around it. So, but him, no, God, he's got money, okay? He got money. He got mansions. Remember before? He's got stuff. So he can get it. Start praying. And it may not all come at once, but ask. Some of you don't even ask. You look over there like, oh, I'm having a bad day and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I desire wealth. I desire wealth. Make sure you subscribe to her channel and Gigi's on a budget. And she had asked me about credit card debt. Now we all, that's one reason I got on here. Credit card debt. I had hospital debt. It was just rolling. Okay. And then, you're trying to pay it off and you relapse and there's some more credit card debt, and then I had my grandparents' debt and it was going crazy. It was just, I wasn't saying too much, but it was like, this is ridiculous. and it made me mad because, I told you I don't do well with a whole bunch of stuff going on like that. I want it solved. I used to hate having teachers meetings when I was teaching in person, and or even at the law office. I don't do well with sitting in a long meeting, because I'm assuming, why we gotta sit here all day? Can't you just say what you're gonna do? Stop having these little committees breaking out to talk about something and then nothing gets done. So, the debt was looking at me and nothing was getting done, because you pay a little here, you do this here, then the card goes back up, and then I'm cash stuffing, pay it off, and da-da. And I said, something's got to give. I've tried the snowball. Snowball was okay in the beginning, because what does it do? It pays off those little ones quick. Then I looked at the avalanche. Well, you don't have enough funds for the avalanche at times. Okay, it's like pay the big one. It's like, What about those over there? There had to be a system. And I was talking to my mom and dad, and then about it, and we were looking at budget with Fatima. My girlfriend's name Fatima, and her name is Fatima. And one day, because she was paying off her credit card, and then she said, I pay off my credit card, use it for expenses and blah blah blah. And all of a sudden it hit me, and then I'm sitting there with my mom. We were all looking at it, and she says, oh, that's what we do, nonchalantly. They would, when they were in debt, they would, pay off their, bill. They'd pay cash for things that had to be paid with cash. And then other things were loaded onto their credit card. If they needed food, they needed gas, even at times had to go get a cash advance. That credit card was the card that helped out, and they were fine. I never really heard them complain about money at all. Okay, money-wise, they always had money. I never had the no, and I usually didn't ask for anything either. Okay, I wasn't one of them kids that, I need this, I needed that. I did not have an allowance, or anything like that. And they would just give me, I guess they paid at school. I remember elementary school, I didn't pay for anything, and my school supplies were there. Nothing, clothes. I just never asked for anything. I didn't even ask for Christmas. I just, whatever came, it just came. So I wasn't that type of a person that had that type of thing with the allowance thing. And so when they were sitting there, and I said, is that what you do? I said, what was the routine? I understood the routine, but I was trying to make the routine with my cash stuff. And technically, I had been doing it. It's like you just got to get a routine. Okay? And I said, I think that routine is going to help me pay off my credit cards, my bills, period. And so I found one of the old debt confession papers that I had, and these were just all my credit cards. And I owed $11,251 in credit cards. I got them down to $11,174.44. That's just me paying a little and doing a little, and I was ticked. Okay, I was really ticked, because you have in your mind, right, I want this paid off by this date. I've been messing around with this mess, and you couldn't use the credit cards, they're up to the max, and it's just ridiculous. And the one we're going to focus on today, I owed all these payments were $477.16. And then I had this Capital One card. It's not in there. It was $2,968.59. So it's not right here, because I used that Capital One card to get cash flow to pay the rest of the cards off. So we're going to see, how did I do that mess? Yeah, it really wasn't a mess. It's hard to think when you're trying to, I think, explain it to somebody. Okay, so I'm not going to show you all the little things that were going on. And we're going to do month 1 and month 2 so that you can kind of see what was going on during that time. Okay, So the income during that time. Now remember, we were doing the business thing, but we hadn't really got started. And so, and some of this stuff I rounded off this time. But my income at the time was $5,880. And any other little business stuff we were putting back into the business to get it going. So this is month 1, this is month 2. So what I did was I had cash expenses. I had the credit cards. Remember I just told you they were $477.16. I had to pay. You can't pay those with a credit card, right? You can't pay the car with a credit card. Now, they do have companies that turn your credit into cash. Or you could go get a cash advance and make your life more miserable. I wasn't doing that either. But okay. But car was $612, and the mortgage at the time, it was a little higher. So it was $1,682 was what I usually paid. I think it was 1,681.46 or something. But I usually just rounded it off. So this side over here, let's put it in another color. This side over here was a total of $2,771.16. Now, remember that I had my Capital One card. I have not paid that one off, the $3,000 card. So what I did was, this is it over here. Okay, so we're going to write up here Capital One, which was the, so I'm going to put it in purple. You know, purple's my saving grace with God and everything. Now, the total of my Capital One card, you can do this with a smaller card. You can also do it with a revolving loan. Make sure that you can be able to get money in and out, like an open-ended loan, you know, like in and out type thing if you do it that way. But if you got a card, it does not have to be this much. You do not have to go get another one. But for the Capital One card, its total limit was $3,000. And I had used it to the max. Its payment was $106. So things that I could use on the credit card. So what I did is I paid this part off here, the $2,771.16. And then what I had left over so far, I had the Capital One card. I paid $2,968.59. That card is clear, right? What I had left over from this, we'll go back to green, probably. So what I had left over was $140.25. And I just put that aside. I didn't touch it. I didn't do anything else with it. I just kind of put it aside. I remember that month. So once I paid off capital, it's free and clear, right? So I had other expenses. You got utilities, gas, car gas, all that good stuff, right? So then I'm going to pay everything on there, and that month it happened to be $771.26. This is where I got this leftover from. Okay, so everything that I had to pay with cash, it's over here. Anything I could use with credit. After I paid the Capital One card off, where it's free, there's nothing on it, I paid it off. And then I reloaded it with whatever I had. I lived on that card that month. Let's just put it that way. I lived on the card. All right. So both sides got money. But I just lived on the card. Because that's all I could do. There wasn't any money except for that $140. And I had vowed, I wasn't going to do it. Gasoline, electric, lights, whatever. Medical. I lived on that card. That month, I spent $771. So then we go to month 2. Remember, we have a cash leftover, right? So that's going to make the $5,888 go up, right? So this month's income went up. So it was $6,020.25. And we're going to do the same thing. It's called rinse and repeat. And you keep doing this. One thing about it, too, which I like, I still do it. One thing about it is you start gaining income that you can pay off the bills with, right? I can pay these things off. And you'll see that in a few minutes, which ones I started getting off, because I can tell by the way I wrote the thing which way I went. So cash expenses, and I just left it the way things were so you could see what's going on. So the cash expenses, we say, was $277.16. Did it again. I just left the figures the same way so you can see what's happening. Okay, over here now, remember there's Capital One, right? So we're going to pay off Capital One this time. And so that's going to be added to that. Now, these were the other expenses. Now, I'm not counting. I'm not doing all that interest stuff like the credit card interest or the payments lower. I'm just showing you what could be done, okay? So, Capital One expenses. So, we could actually add 2,771 and 16 cents plus Capital One expenses. Just pay it off again, plus 771.26. So for this side, we are actually paying off, we're going to use $3,542.42. Capital One is clear again. It has 0 on it, okay? So how much do we have left? So we start with our beginning. We had $6,020.25 minus $3,542.42. So we've got $2,477.83. And you just rinse and repeat, okay? So that if I, this month had maybe $500 worth of expenses, okay? So then the money I have left over would be $1,977.83. So I could either, if you're cash stuffing, now that what's good, you can take that out, use it for cash stuffing and save it, or you can start paying off these credit cards over here. Okay, you just add up what you wanted to pay and get rid of them. That's the way it will go. Now, I wrote it out a different way because I didn't want you to get you confused too much before I showed you what I was really doing over here. So, month one. Okay, here's the income. Go down this way. So, we had the credit card we had to pay, the credit cards, the car, the mortgage on this one. That was $2,771.16. Capital One came in there. So we paid $5,739.75. Our expenses went out of that Capital One card. And so we had $140 left over and 25 cents, which I put into savings just to hold it before I transferred it. Then month two came. And I added that leftover, not this one, the leftover right here. Did the same thing. Credit card, car, mortgage, those are my cash expenses. Okay. I just made up Capital One. We just used the same one again. Okay? And you can come out with whatever your leftover may be. But you see, you gain cash as you go. Now, it may not work for you. You may grumble, but it's not hard. It's just get your income. It's the same thing you probably been doing. Pay your cash things. Put your other things on the credit card. Leave the cash or start paying off bills when it starts building up. You're done. Okay? Income. Pay your cash expenses. Take one credit card, and it does not have to be the $3,000 one. You may have a $500 one. I don't know. You may have a $300 one. Can you pay off the $300 card and pay off something and use it for your expenses? It's going to be slower, yes, because it's smaller. Don't go out there signing up for another card and all that stuff. Not even do it. Yes, you can do it with a revolving loan if it revolves. If it doesn't revolve, they're just going to pay off their bill and they're going to walk off. Okay, so don't do that. Where you would have to reapply again, all your money's gonna be in there, and you're gonna be fussing at me, and I'm just gonna look at you because I'm telling you, don't do it that way. And I'm not a financial advisor. I do not know what your finances are. Okay, I just know what is mine, and it was just easy. It was really easy for me to do that, and I just got the credit card, and I just went and paid my expenses on that. And yes, you have to keep track of that card. Okay, if you're not ready for it, take the cash out and do your cash stuffing. What you're doing, you're paying your expenses and then you pull your cash out, right? That's all you're doing. But this time you got your credit card in play. Credit card is giving you that extra boom. If I need something, we need groceries, whatever's loaded up on that card. And then the next month, pay it off. Now, with a larger card, you could probably skip a month, use some of that cash to start paying off another card. Like, after a while, the Capital One had a $3,000 limit on it, so I could skip a month. Okay, I'm not paying you this month. I'm taking that $700 and I'm going to go pay off this credit card. And then, you just rinse and repeat. Next month, you may say, I'm going to pay it off now, or I'm going to pay a little bit off. But don't get back in debt with that big card. That's your lifesaver. Whatever card you're using, that's your lifesaver, and you may need it. Now, you can switch cards. I'm not saying that. You can switch cards. I switch cards up. Switch it up. But, if it's your lifesaver, you want to keep it free and clear. Okay? So, one more time, for the masses that went to get coffee. Income, added up your income up that you're going to use. Pay all your cash expenses that cannot be paid with a credit card. Use your credit card that's paid off or trying to get it paid off. Fill it up, load it up, pay it off, and then use it for expenses. And at the end of the month, if you got leftover, now the first month you may not have, but if you got leftover, put it away, cash stuff it, whatever you want to do. Repeat. You should have more money the next month. If you can pull it off, you may not have what I had or whatever, but eventually if you save it, see, I start saving it too. So if you save it, you'll have extra income, right? But try it if you like. And if you don't, go find something else. Let me know, okay? So I'm getting up out of here. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hello to everybody. Thank you for coming by. Love you, love you, love you. I hope I didn't confuse you too much. If I do, ask me and I will walk you through it. Okay? I don't mind walking you through it. Some people email me and I've walked through stuff, with them how to do it, so it's fine. So take care, enjoy yourself, have a lovely day because you have a wonderful life that nobody else has, okay? Bye-bye.